Hello and welcome back. It is Monday and we are here for it. We're ready for a new episode. So let's do this. Let's do this now. Before we get into this episode, first of all, I'm sure you're looking at that title and thinking, "Oh, this is interesting." Okay, so if we don't start on January 1st, when are we starting? That's the whole essence of this podcast episode. And you, as the listener, shared with me that you were interested in this topic. I gave two topics on Instagram and Facebook, and resoundingly, we wanted this topic. So I'm here for it. Let's do it. Let's go. I want to share with you first, though, before we get into it, how this topic came about. I was actually listening to a friend of mine on an IG Live towards the beginning of the new year. In fact, it might have even been January 1st, for that matter. And her name is Sarah. She is at Solistic Energy. I believe that's her handle. But if you're interested in connecting with her, let me know. She also focuses on cyclical living, but also more with your business. And she's really good at bringing in astrology into the mix. So she was actually talking about this particular topic that we're going to chat about today. And I thought, you know what? I had never heard of that until she had shared it. And then I started doing research on it, like I always do, before I present with you a conversation or a topic for us to chat on. And it's like, wow, how many people don't know about this? Like, because I, for one, am raising my hand right now. I, for one, was one of those people who didn't know, and it makes so much sense. So, we're going to talk about today why, if you're not feeling called to, pursue your goals, whatever goals you may have for this new year, why, if you're not feeling called to do those right now, it might be for a valid reason, a very, very valid reason. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the history. The history behind this is that the new year actually didn't start until March. Specifically, January 1st is when the new year used to start. Now, this goes all the way back to the 715 to 673 BCE, when the Roman king Numa was in power, and he actually revised the Roman Republic calendar so that January replaced March as the first month. So March used to be the first month of the year. If we also think about the Roman gods that represent each of those months, so Janus is the Roman god of January, and Mars was the Roman god of war for March. So thinking about, you know, uh, Janus being the January being named after Janus, which is the god of all new beginnings, that makes like total sense, right? Why they would make that switch is because that god was focused on like starting over, refreshing, like clean slate, right? But if we think about in terms of the seasons, January is actually in the middle of the winter, right? That's when we should be, if we're thinking about our cyclical cycle as a woman, that's when we should be hibernating, resting, right? We think about January as like this hibernation mode, this survival mode, right? When we think about our feminine cycle, we're more withdrawn, we're less social. There's a lack of energy and just all around crappy weather. So like you don't want to go outside and do things, right? Whereas if we think about March, March is comes with the start of spring, right? The 20th is the official day of spring. So, the spring equinox is in March. And so you could also start your goals then. But March is, like I said, the sign of spring. It's when things are coming back to life, are blossoming. We have more energy in that phase of our cycle, which is going to be our follicular phase. We're more social, there's better weather, right? So if your goals are, to be more active, it's easier to do that in the spring because you can go outside more, more so than you can in the winter. So, all this to say, and excuse me while we situate Riker here, he's very needy. My my inclination is to say to you, if you're feeling stagnant energy, you're not feeling excited about pursuing goals right now and like going all out on them, don't, right? In fact, you don't ever have to do that, right? No one can tell you what to do, and no one can tell you how to do it. But if you're just really feeling like you need to go inwards and really take this time to reflect, the winter is the menstrual phase of the cycle, and that's when we do, or that's when we should be doing a large portion of our reflection just on life and just in general, reflecting on our business, on our purpose, on the relationships we've connected, with, and the relationships that we've had with people. That's the time for us to truly reflect. So if you want to go into this new year with a reflection mode for the first couple of months, and then you feel, more comfortable, you feel more of this pull after, hearing this conversation today about, oh, March might be a better time to, start really looking at my goals and really making headway on them, then I encourage you to do that. Hopefully my hope is that this podcast episode is, it gives you kind of the validation, and also the ability to say, what I've been feeling has been validated through this conversation. So yeah, that's really what I have for you today. I hope that this was supportive. I hope that this finds you at a time and place when you need it. And if you're all for waiting until March 1st or even March 20th, when spring officially starts, to really make headway on your goals, I say do it, right? If you're ready to go now, I also say go ahead and do it, right? It's whatever feels good to you. But I just think there's a real power in thinking about how our feminine cycle also definitely connects with the seasons of our world, of nature. And, if you're feeling like you want to become more in tune with that, more connected with that, then I say this is the sign. This is your opportunity to start doing so. So have a wonderful start to your week, and I will chat with you soon. Take care.